at some point in my life, I just had to stop being afraid. You are in an evolutionary unfolding. Fear impedes your evolution. What you have is a presence within you, in the form of the Divine Mother, that wants to liberate you from the illusion of your reality. The only problem is that fear keeps you tethered to it. And so you see, your fear, no matter how justified or valid it may be, serves as a counter-opposing force to the ascension energy that is moving you forward and moving you on. So it's time to confront those fears. Because what I've discovered is that those fears are unfounded, and in fact they are nothing more than control mechanisms. And these control mechanisms exist at different levels of your being. But the most important ones are the ones that trigger your survival. Anytime you have been confronted with this lie that you can't be yourself because it's going to cost you your livelihood, you can't be yourself because you're going to be cancelled, you can't be yourself because nobody will listen to you, because you'll lose relationships, you'll lose business opportunities. You can't be yourself because that's the version of you that people don't want. That's the very fear that you have to confront. Because I have to tell you that as somebody who's walked away from everything, and I mean everything, in order to gain myself, there is no downside to being who you are. I'd like to give you a visual. When the tide goes out, it takes everything with it. But when that tide pulls everything out, all of a sudden for a moment, all you have is the bottom of the ocean, the sand, whatever's left. That's the uncomfortable part. As the tide goes out, the tide of grace, it's taking your identity and everything related to your identity with it. The illusion of fame, the illusion of fortune, the illusion of monetary gain, the illusion of getting ahead, the illusion of significance, the illusion of a relationship, the illusion of a friendship, the illusion of a career. So the tide of grace pulls everything out. It takes the identity and it takes the illusion with it. And that's the part that's uncomfortable, you see. Because the illusion and the lie is all that you've ever known, because you've only ever known how to live in fear. But what happens when the water comes back is that when the water comes back, not only does it bring you back everything that is rightly yours, everything that's in alignment with you, everything that you deserve to have, but it comes back in a way that's sustainable, that's in alignment with your heart. And this is why you have to stop being afraid. One of our favorite movies right now is called The Tales of Despero. It's about a mouse with big ears, cute mouse, love him, who just refuses to be scared. Now, in the kingdom of mice, that's a big problem. Because from the moment you're born, you go to school to learn how to be afraid, because they're convinced that their survival depends on their ability to be petrified. So all of a sudden, because this little sweet being just isn't afraid, he gets shunned, he gets rejected, and he gets excommunicated. Heck, he even gets sent down into the depths of the dungeons to be with the rats. And yet, no matter what, he continues to be hopeful. He continues to be courageous. He continues to believe in what's right. See, he's not an ordinary mouse. He's a brave little mouse. And no matter how much everyone's trying to tell him that the world is a scary place and that it's not safe to be a mouse, it's not safe to be who he is, he doesn't fall for it. His heart remains open. And eventually, one day, he meets a princess. Of course, because that's what happens when you're a brave little mouse. And he goes on this mission to rescue this princess, which he does. Not only does he rescue the princess, but he manages to heal every wound that everyone in the story had. You see, that's why it's important that you stop being afraid. Stop being afraid of what the media is telling you. Stop being afraid of what other people are telling you. Stop being afraid of losing people. Stop being afraid. because sometimes you have to have the courage to lose everything in order to gain yourself.